Are you working consistently, wanting to move ahead, but you just feel stuck? You just feel stuck. You feel like you can't get out. You feel like you can't enjoy your life. Let's just listen to this lady on TikTok talking about her situation living in Canada as a Gen Xer, and we'll talk about it right now on Born with Purpose. Let's go.
So sick of this shit. I have no quality of life. I somehow allow people to convince me that, a good life and a successful life is owning a home, owning a car, having this career and, taking a student loan to, you know, um, advance that career, only to find out that when you do all of these things, you become a slave. You acquire all these material things that the bank owns, and all you do is live with the debt of trying to pay for it. And when you realize you have no quality of life, this is May. It is so freaking cold outside, and you can't get to enjoy your life. So even the things that you're buying to say, yeah, I've accomplished these things, you're not getting a chance to enjoy because you live in people's workplace. You're like a slave to this thing. It's the worst, and you're not enjoying your life, and you're surrounded by all these bills and more bills, and you realize that somebody tricked you into thinking that borrowing money from the bank to buy a house and borrowing money to buy a car and all these things only make you stuck in the matrix. I'm annoyed. I am so sick of it. And at the end of the day, you get sick and you're not living any quality of life. Now, if you want to leave from wherever you are in the world to come and experience this, I'm not going to tell you to stop. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of living in Canada. I'm sick of feeling like, I need to be released from this bondage. And I'm not alone. And it has nothing to do with color or creed. It has a lot of people are living here in Canada and they feel like a slave. They're not enjoying their life. They're miserable. And some people can't even escape because guess what? Financially, they're not able to get out of their situation. And when they tell you, purchasing a home, one of the biggest, achievement in life, you find out that, listen, all it does is keep you in bondage. I'm so sick of it.
She and I look like we're in the same age, the Gen X era. And yeah, we were all led to believe that what you do is you finish high school, you get into university, you get a degree, you get that job, you stay at that job, you buy a house, and you just live the Canadian dream. You never use the term Canadian dream, but that was the term, and it was big among West Indian Caribbean households. This is what you do to live in Canada. And now it has shifted to the point where many of us have homes that we feel like we can't. People are having a hard time selling their homes now. People are having a hard time just getting ahead. And now this lady, she's been in Canada. Obviously, it sounds like she's been here for some time, and she wants out, but she can't leave. It's not easy to leave. It was 10, 20 years ago, and the thing is, 10, 20 years ago, none of us wanted to leave this country because things were pretty good. I don't say they were perfect, but it was pretty good. You couldn't really say anything bad about Canada during the late 90s, early 2000s. We all had our issues. We always have issues, but it's come to the point now where more than ever, it's just the struggle is real, and it's not just among those who have less. It is affecting everyone. But it seems like the have-nots have been increasing. One out of every 10 Canadians now are below the poverty line. That is more than well over 4 million people. And I can't speak for the States, but it's hurting over there too. And it's like you have these options. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to be living in my. This is the period, especially for Gen X's. This is the period where we want to start enjoying, getting towards the sunset of your careers. But for some people, it's like I can't even enjoy the sunset of my career. I can't head into retirement just enjoying life because all I'm doing is struggling to make it. And even if I go to a country that the cost of living is cheaper, the process for me to leave is getting more difficult because there's just so much things you do. You got kids you got to deal with. That's why I'm like, if you want the earliest time to ever start fresh in another country is when you're young. And but the problem is when you're young, when I'm saying young, I'm saying like early 20s, you're not even thinking of going to another country because you're in your high moment. You thinking, oh, Canada's woohoo, Canada's awesome. But then life hits after you start wanting to do the things you want to do. But anyway, let's continue hearing what this lady has to say.
And freedom for me means an escape from living like this, where you have the illusion of success and all you do is not enjoy life. When you live here, June and July, before you kind of see, like, the sun comes out and you're warm, and you only have a few months and before you're back to it. I'm sick of it. So I'm not telling any Jamaican, and I'm not telling anybody, because they always mistake when you complain. And for those of you who are going to come and say, why don't you leave? I'd love to. And sometimes it's not that easy. When you get to my age and you put in so much time and you work hard to achieve certain things, and when you see it slipping through your hand, if you don't stay on the plantation, it is very scary. So you end up staying longer than you should. I'm sick of this life. Canada is not the place it used to be. Canada invite all of these immigrants into this space, and before you know it, people who have been here paying taxes for decades are left in the side, even though they have worked hard. And people who never contributed nothing, they come here, bring them, take the jobs from the people who are already here for decades and paying taxes. And now, I feel sorry for myself, and I feel sorry for all the other people who have done all the work and now should be benefiting. In Brampton right now has the most people losing their homes. People who work sometimes 2, 3 jobs. People who are doing everything to hold on to their shelter. It's a damn disgrace. And I just don't want to be the one to contribute to the illusion of being happy or this being that wonderful place. You're better off living somewhere in a one-room board house where you feel freedom and peace and not feel like a slave. So many people are dropping down in their workplace trying to hold it together, and I don't want to use the D word, but never really getting to enjoy the things that they work for. People are coming out of retirement at 70. What kind of life is this? It is horrible. And then you got a small group of people who is benefiting from our suffering.
Wow, she packed a lot in that video, and I could go all day and talk about some of the things that she talks about. The one, the cold, the weather, my goodness. I know it's like May 2026, and we haven't felt the consistent warm yet, and it's crazy. And the summers are short. That's why when I hear people complaining about how hot it is in July, I'm like, man, just suck it up and enjoy that heat, because that heat don't last long. Anyway, and another thing I'm noticing too is, especially, it used to get to the point where people approach 30 years of retirement, and then when the 30th year hits, they're gone. They're like, hey, I'm about to enjoy life. Now it's becoming more and more people are working past 30 years retirement. It's like they feel like they can't afford to, and they got to keep working. It's not like they want to keep working. They feel like they have to. And that is a sad state of affairs, because they know if they stop, the pension is just not going to cover what they need to cover, especially when inflation keeps going up. Well, it feels like 3% every year. And but you can have the opposite effect. You keep working, and then for some people, they die, they unalive while they're working, never getting a chance to enjoy their retirement. And that's a sad state of affairs that we're in. Has Canada become a plantation? It sure feels like it. And I'm not comparing Canada to you know the slavery. I'm not comparing it to that. But when the word plantation is used, it's used as I'm working in a place, I'm in an area, and I feel stuck. I feel like I can't get out of it. And when you think of it that way, then it's just like, whoa, that is true. I wonder how many Canadians feel that way. And it's crazy. It is so crazy. to work 3 jobs just to keep, not losing your home, working 3 jobs just to make sure you can take care of bills, and it blows my mind. And the funny thing is that a lot of people can't even find a single job or even an extra job. You look at nowadays that you could go on DoorDash, try to do DoorDash, and you can't even get in to do DoorDash because there's so many drivers doing DoorDash. So you sign up for DoorDash and you can't even make any money because there's so much people doing it. I don't know. It's crazy. And the same thing goes with Uber and all that stuff. I don't know. I want to know your thoughts about this lady's video. What can we do to get out of this? Are we just stuck? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe to Born with Purpose. And before I'm out, I want to let you know I started a food channel. It's called Born with an Appetite. And this is just me enjoying the different places. And, just go check it out. The link is below. And love y'all. God bless. I'm out. Peace.